Welcome to Blueprint Radio. I'm your host, Martin Williams. Here we help you create a blueprint for your life. So let's build. Welcome to Blueprint Radio. My name is Martin Williams. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. You may do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud. All the links to the podcast can be found at guidedexpressions.com/podcast with an S, or wherever you're listening to this podcast right now. So today, what I wanted to do was start a new series on mental coding and your finances, right? So part of what I do is I help people change the way that they think and change their mental programming. It's one of the things that has helped me get to where I am today. And certainly I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but I'm also nowhere near where I used to be. And part of the reason is that I learned to think different. I learned to change the way that I was thinking, because the way that I was thinking was leading me down a path that I didn't want to be. And so I came up with this term, and I don't think it's 100% original, but I came up with this term for what I do called mental coding, and it's kind of coding a website or coding a computer. Whatever program you give that website or whatever program you give that computer, it will run it no matter how outrageous it is, no matter how unprecedented it is. Just think about our cell phones. Our cell phones can do so many things now. We have so many apps. So, someone programmed that. Someone created that. Okay. So, the reason that you have a camera on your phone now is because it was built, but also the software to operate it was built. The reason that you have a music player, the reason that you have a timer, the reason that you have the ability to go onto the internet and send messages and send calls, right? All of it has to do with someone programming that. If no one programmed it, it wouldn't be on the phone and you wouldn't be able to use it. But your mind is the original computer. So you've got to learn how to code your mind to produce the things that you want to produce. So I wanted to tackle this subject of money because it affects every single person on this earth. Let's not be ignorant about that. It affects everyone. Now, certain people don't have a money problem, right? But quite a few people do. So I wanted to create this in the hopes that it would help someone to deal with their money problem. So anytime that you're trying to recode your mind for anything on any subject, whether it's money, whether it's your business, whether it's your relationships, your health, your mental health, whatever it is, you have to identify the problem. Now, most people know that they have a money problem, but some people live in ignorance. When you make a lot of money, the money problem can stay hidden as long as you can cover the bill, right? Some people don't realize that they're overspending because they're able to cover it. They're able to pay everything off, no problem. But as soon as the money stops, then it can be a problem, right? So that problem can lay dormant for years. And as you allow it to lay dormant, it can rear its ugly head at the worst possible time. Most people diagnose their money problem on their own, but sometimes it takes a crisis or an intervention to wake us up. All of a sudden you lose your job, or you lose your best client, or you lose multiple clients, or perhaps there's an unexpected expense that wipes out what little savings you have. And now you're scrambling to make ends meet. The reality hits you like a ton of bricks. Crap, I really got a money problem, right? So in case you're on the fence, or in case this is not making a lot of sense to you, here are some ways to identify that you might have a money problem. You always pay bills late or not at all. You don't know how much you owe in the form of debts or in the form of past due bills. You don't know how much you have in the bank. You are constantly worried to the point of obsession about money. You're living above your means. You're not able to finish projects that will bring more money to you. You're afraid to showcase your skills to get hired. You're not organized financially, meaning poor financial records. You don't keep track of receipts. You have little to no savings. And you hate your job, but you can't leave because of money. Now, if you answered, yeah, that's me, to 3 or more of those things, in my humble opinion, you have a money problem. But have no fear, I'm here to help. Now, where does poor psychology come from? Money problems almost always come from our childhood. Your parents, even though they loved you very much, were trying to figure a lot of things out. And sometimes your parents made poor financial decisions that affected you. If you were ever evicted or forced to leave your childhood home, or you saw cars and other things being repossessed, or if you grew up in poverty or chronic financial shortage or struggle, that's going to affect you as an adult. Growing up in adverse financial conditions can lead to overcompensating when you grow up. You may choose careers simply because they pay more, or you may have an unhealthy prioritization with money to the point that you put it above relationships, your spiritual life, your health, among other things. You may make relationship choices based upon the fact that the person that you're deciding to commit to makes a lot of money while completely ignoring everything else about that person. If you put money above everything else, that's not going to end well in most cases. So what's the solution? Well, if you haven't gathered it by now, you have to recode your mind for financial stability and abundance. Money problems are not about money. It's how you think about money. There needs to be a full mental expectation that the money you need and want will always be at your disposal. Then you need to consistently act on that expectation. You can't outwork a poor financial psychology. Many people do. Or many people attempt to do it, But that mental coding will always win out. Always. So how do you change your mental coding around money? You change it in a series of steps. We just did step 1. And step 2 is making a decision. So in the next part of the series, I'm going to talk about why deciding to have abundance is vital to you having it in your life. So thank you so much for listening. My name is Martin Williams. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for listening to Blueprint Radio. For more information on Martin Williams coaching and products, please go to guidedexpressions.com or visit me on Facebook as well as Instagram.